Hello, I'm recording this for Oprah, Super Soul Sunday. Really, anybody out there that, but mainly I'm sending it to Oprah because she's interested in this kind of stuff. Um, Basically, I cracked a secret on the mind. I struggled all my life. I struggled all my life with basically mentally, just it's just pure hell. My life was pure hell mentally, and but sometimes the struggle, even though I struggled for gosh, ever really since I was 15 that I can remember. I'm 60, almost 61. So that means I've struggled since I was 15. What is that, 45 years? And a kid, you don't have that many problems and things, or things to really worry about that much, even though, everybody's a kid. But 45 years of mental torture, unnecessary mental torture. And I see on the internet, I see people struggling, and they don't have to struggle no more. I figured it out. I mean, I seriously figured it out. Now, I know when I've never read the book. I mean, I heard somebody read like 3 or 4 pages one time. It was a book about the power now. I think somebody was reading. That's all I've ever heard. I was on the Oprah forum um, and I never really heard anybody talk about. I heard people talking about the book. Everybody was just talking about this book, and about the power now and all this stuff. And so I've never read the book. I mean, the concept is so simple, and I know how to do it, but did it help me? No. I mean, anybody can live in the now moment, but what happens if you live in the now moment is you become more aware. Okay. If you become more aware, then you start seeing, if you're a sensitive person, you see more stuff. You see things you never saw before. And let me tell you something right here. This thing here that I cracked, and I'm still working on it. Maybe there's even more on what I've cracked to the point. But mine came from a supernatural vision over 40 years ago. I was laying in bed. Let me tell you about this. I gave some money to the Full Business Gospel International. I don't know why I did it. I gave him like $500. I was only a kid, so I gave him like $500. And I guess I was a Christian. I knew they were for real. I went to a Baptist church, but I don't know, something. I gave them $500, and they prayed for me. And talk about power. Those guys had some power. This first beginnings of some of the Pentecostal movement. There was a guy named Demas Sharan, I think it was. So anyway, they prayed for me. They never knew what happened when they prayed, but they prayed for me, and I never had a vision before. Didn't even know what a vision was, because it was actually a combination dream and vision. Had no clue. Never even thought about it. I might have been an early Christian, but it wasn't in my radar zone. Never heard anybody who had one. Never talked about it. So I'm laying in bed, and all of a sudden I'm dreaming. We dream, big deal. But this dream was different, and there's even hidden secrets in this dream that I could go into, but I don't have time for that. Anyway, I'm going down a road in a car, and just in a fog, total fog. And I'm just driving down this road. Almost like I'm half asleep, right? Driving down this road, half asleep. I'm not worried about anything because I'm just driving along half asleep, and then all of a sudden the fog is all gone, totally dissipated, and I mean I can see like I've never saw before. I mean I could, in this dream, it was so I could see so well. I could see it was more in the dream. The dream was more real than you can see in real life. the black of the night was more blacker. Everything was more real in that dream than it was in real life. And let me give you a little secret about that. When people go to heaven, they find out that, well, this ain't the real place here. That's the real place. And it makes perfect sense. And I don't want to get into all that stuff. We live in a dimension of space and time, which is a creation. Time don't exist out there. So, of course, that's more real. And, of course, things don't die over in that dimension and yada, yada, yada. I don't want to get into all that stuff because that's just down another rabbit hole. So I just thought I'd touch on that real quick. So anyway, I'm having this, everything becomes more real in real life. And as soon as it became real, which is I'm talking about as far as like a comparison to the power of now, where you can see and everything is crystal clear because you're awoke. And I've never read the book, but it only takes me a second to look at it and figure out the concept behind it. It's so simple. It's not a big deal to me. I mean, it's so basic. So anyway, let's see, where was I going to go from there? Oh, I'm driving down the road and screen seeing crystal clear. And the first thing that happened in the vision is I'm trying to steer. I'm getting up real close to the windshield of the car, and I'm like, trying to steer, even though I can see more clear than before. So what's the mystery of that little God-given vision? Not little, but God-given vision. What's it telling you? Even if you see more clear, you might be more panicked than what you were before. So the power of now, okay, you're seeing more things. You're seeing more things in people, more things here and there. And you're going to want to even steer more. So does that solve the problem? No. That don't solve the problem. That can make the problem worse. And let me pause this a second. And there's nothing wrong with living in the now moment. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It just depends what's happening in your now moment, man. But which can be a lot. And then you got to go home and meditate. I've never meditated in my entire life, even once. But I understand the principle. It's so simple. And I don't want to get into all that. I mean, as far as what it does, it's so simple. I know things like meditation is like a little tip of the iceberg of the stuff I know. And it's like whip-de-doo, big deal. Not impressed. I mean, it's just so simple. And it's not it's not the core problem. It's medicine, but it's not fixing the core problem. Okay, you're taking some medicine and it's working for you. Okay, good. Nothing wrong with that. People smoke pot too, and they get drunk. I get electric shock therapy. Bzzz. Acting a little bit crazy, but I mean, if you go through the crap I went through for 40 years of the mind game, come on, you got to be a little crazy. But I'm happy now. I'm pretty happy with what I've come up with. Let me pause a second. I could have fixed. Who was that? Was it Judy Garland? What was that chick that was in Star Wars that had to get the electric shock therapy? Let me look it up. I want to pause this for a second. Yeah, I couldn't remember her name. I had to look it up real quick on the internet. Carrie Fisher. I mean, you got to understand, Carrie Fisher was so screwed up mentally. And there ain't nothing wrong with being screwed up mentally. I've been screwed up mentally. It's a very common human condition. So anyway, Carrie Fisher was so screwed up mentally. I mean, imagine being so screwed up mentally that to forget all your problems, which multiply and multiply and multiply and multiply and multiply. That's one of the keys. That's a key secret right there. I'm not going to say why it is. That's another secret too. But they multiplied to such a point that they had to bring in the zappers. Bzzz, erase. They had to erase all that stuff, but that she just end up again, all that stuff build up, and it didn't matter if she was living in the power now. You think that stuff wouldn't build up? Ha ha ha! Yes, it would. They'd probably still have to bring in the zappers. I'm kind of laughing at it, but it's really not funny. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny when you really think about it. It's kind of funny, just a little, not a lot, but a little bit funny. Let me pause this. I'm getting carried away. Oh man, I didn't pause it. I thought I paused it, and I didn't pause it. But anyway, hope I didn't do anything stupid while you was watching. Anyway, I didn't pause it. So they had this zapper. That's just, I mean, to me, that's just unreal. But everybody, let's face it, this is a human condition. It's been going on since Buddha said, I think on his last breath when he died, he said, "Master the mind, master the mind." And then this guy became so famous, which is so stupid. I mean, it really is. Well, I shouldn't say it's stupid because some people hold. I mean, he's not a god, right? Or is he? I don't know. Is he a god? I don't know. I don't think he's a god. I have to research that a little bit. But I think I heard one guy say that they believe the spirit of Buddha is everybody's Buddha because the spirit like comes in. But that was an interesting concept. But what that really is, if that's what they really believe, is as soon as you leave this body, um, what I've heard in near-death experiences is all of a sudden revelation just starts downloading. Now, most people don't know what revelation is. Revelation is boom, instant knowledge. That means you didn't have understanding 1 second, then the next second, boom, it's a complete download, complete understanding of the situation. Now, how is that possible? It is. It happens. It happens in near-death experience. Um, why does it happen? God's out there. There's no barrier between him and us. And really, in a sense, when you meditate, there's a reason that when you meditate, I guess you could say you're closer to God than you are because and there's a reason for that. I'm not going to give away the secret to that one. Um, I got to figure out where I'm going from here. Hold on, I'm going to pause this. So anyway, yeah, I've cracked one of the very key secrets in all this, and I never was impressed with the power now. I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to practice. But it doesn't solve the core problem. It's very one dimensional. We don't live in a one dimensional world. We live in a three-dimensional world, and you got to understand all the other dimensions and how they work. Maybe Eckhart has explained some of this stuff. I don't really know, but I've got it nailed. I mean, I've got it nailed down specifically that even a child could learn this. I told my sister a little bit about it, and it was hard to get her focused enough because she got off track as I was trying to talk to her. Um, but I spent about 15 minutes, and it's already starting to work for her. Um, so this new concept, it's just a truth. and anyone can do it, and anyone's mind can be fixed. All these people are treating all these people with these drugs and stuff. As far as I really think, and I'm not a neurologist or a psychiatrist or even a psychologist. I've never studied any of this stuff. But what comes first, the chicken or the egg? You know, totally convinced that certain thinking a certain way produces a physical effect in the body and in here in the brain. I mean, I really believe that thinking can cause mental illness. Now, also, physical things can cause mental illness. Also, I'm not going to say that physical things don't cause mental illness. That'd be just like, somebody takes a drug and they have a mental change. That would be stupid to say that physical things can't cause mental things, because they do. Low blood sugar, your focus starts going out the window. So it would be stupid not to say that mental things can't cause physical changes, because physical things can cause mental changes, right? And a lot of people don't take in consideration, especially ministers, that a human being is mental, physical, and spiritual. And mental and spiritual things are very ssimilar. I can even explain the difference between those two, and I'm not going to here. Not going to do it here. Not giving away these secrets. I've been working on this for really since about 2008, and I'm not giving this stuff away for free. I'm thinking about doing a book this weekend. So one of the reasons I'm here is I think this can help everyone in the world, because it's very simple. It probably can be taught in 20 minutes, maybe an hour. So I can take something that probably can be taught to even a child in an hour, and it can change their entire life. And there's kids committing suicide right now, and they don't even know. I know why they're doing it. It's so simple. It's unreal. Um, but basically, this teaching gives you control. Worry is basically us trying to control something. But I'm not going to explain it any deeper than that here. But it's so simple to fix. So simple. I mean, it's so simple. And it gives you control over your life. I mean, the secret is so valuable. It's probably worth $1 billion. And I'm going to be probably selling it in a book that, man, I mean, this secret's worth whew. I mean, it really is worth $4 billion. I mean, it really is. It's that powerful. As I look at all the different concepts of this one little secret, I mean, why would that be surprising? Because in nature, we have a secret, an E is equal to MC squared, and that released the power of the nuclear bomb. So there are truths out there that are so powerful that, all that was information. E is equal to MC squared. All that is information. Information's powerful. Albert Einstein conceived a black hole before. Yeah, I could probably use this tape for maybe to raise some money in case I don't get any results from Oprah. But all I need is about. I mean, I'm about ready. I can't not look for a job any further. I didn't even know I was going to crack this. I always work on it, but I didn't know this was going to crack it. I gotta look for a job now. I can't wait any longer. Maybe I can put it off this weekend, but I just cracked this secret, and I know that it's powerful. A book needs to be written. People need to be helped. We're heading into 2020. This will help people have 2020 vision, 2020 mental vision. And it's like God, obviously. Oh, I forgot to tell you the rest of the vision that I had. Okay, at the end of the vision, I was trying to steer, and then I woke up. I almost completely forgot to tell you. So I'm having this vision, and the vision, I'm steering, trying to steer, I'm like panicked. And then I woke up from the vision or the dream, because it was a dream. And then I woke up sitting straight up my bed, and I still see the blackness of the night in this road that I'm looking down. And for about 14 seconds or so after I woke up, I couldn't see the room because all I could see was this. It wasn't just a dream, it was a vision. And the visions, I didn't know anything about them at the time. So what else happened after that um, is I went over, sat on the edge of my bed. I was completely awake, sitting on the edge of my bed. And, I'm wondering, what was that? I didn't know what a vision was. I didn't know that they had them in the Bible. I've only had one other vision. And that vision I had, where I actually seen Jesus in a vision. Um, I'm not going to squeeze that one in here. I can say this. I'll squeeze it in here real quick. I got time. Then I'll finish it. Well, let me wrap up the other vision before I get down to another one. Because I've only had two in my entire life, I would say. Just two. But they're both very powerful. Very powerful. But anyway, so I'm sitting on the edge of the bed, and all of a sudden, I feel an electric shock come from the ceiling, and it goes right down through me. And it wasn't a shock in the fact that, I've been shocked by electricity before. It was similar to that, and I've heard people talk about it thousands of times on the Sid Roth It's Supernatural show. So, but I've heard people talk about it 1,000 times at least, since then on It's Supernatural from Sid Roth. But anyway, I got hit by an electric shock, and then a little voice came over and spoke and said that didn't happen. And I wasn't awake yet, but a little voice, you would almost think it was your own inner voice. But it sounded just a little bit on the outside of me, but it still spoke, and it said, that didn't happen. And as I look back, I know didn't come from within me. It was a little voice said didn't happen. And I believed it. It stole that vision. It stole the electric shock. I started coming to my sense, and I said, maybe I just wasn't awoke. Maybe I wasn't woke up, So then after I agreed with that, what that little voice said, boom, I get hit with another electric shock. So then, after you get hit with a second time, and for a fact you're fully awake, it's obvious that it was real. It all was real. It all happened, and I have zero doubts. So that was the vision, and I know to this day that the vision, I suppose, it's very similar to the power of now, being woke up, being in the now moment. And I don't want to get into all that. Let me finish the other vision. Since I started talking about that one, but all this over 40 years, information's been coming to me from that electric shock that represented the healing. But just like the children of Israel trying to get to the point where Jesus came, it took a long time. Because we screw up what God's trying to do. Obviously, we're experts at doing that. but it took about 40 years to get to this point. And maybe there's even more. I mean, I hate to say that this is the end of all secrets as far as helping the mind, but it's every time I think that, I find something more, and it's like, okay, but this is a powerful one, very powerful. I'm sure there's more. So anyway, I'll tell you about the other vision real quick. I only got 4 minutes 30 seconds. The only other vision I had, and this kind of deals with, if I look at this deals with my problem. Oh, this deals with my problem too. Maybe I can wrap up a bunch of these things into one tape. But basically, let me say real quick before I get into that is I could use money to write this book, and it wouldn't take much. I can live on $900 a month, and I could probably write the book in a weekend, but I'm not that type of person, so I know I know it's not gonna get done. But I want to have it. This has to be done by 2020. It has to be done. But I'd like to take about 4 months to write it, and I'm out of money. Out of money. So really, anybody out there that wants to donate to this, maybe I'll even put something like this on a site to one of those sites that you can get money on the internet. I forget the exact name for it. It'll come to me. Let me pause this a second. I just looked it up real quick. Just just a fundraiser type thing. I know there's different places. But yeah, I would say for $4,000, I could get this book done. I know it's worth a lot of money. I mean, it has to be, because it is going to start selling like hotcakes. But I mean, it's going to help everybody in the world that reads it, and especially especially young kids that really battle with mental stuff. It's such a powerful concept, and it's so simple to do. Some of my things I talk about are so simple that even a kid could do it. I've never read anybody else's stuff. I don't know anything about anybody's stuff. I don't read books on psychology. I don't know anything about anybody else's stuff. But I do know that this is some powerful stuff. And so I don't know, $4,000 is what I need to get it done. I guess I can try to find other ways to raise, but I figured I'd go to Oprah because she's interested in this kind of stuff. And I mean, this helps humanity in so many different ways. It would be like creating a different species of people. But anything that's good, you can take it, and I suppose there's always an evil potential use for it, just like E is equal to MC squared. Use it for a bomb, or you could use it for a nuclear reactor. I mean, when you understand human nature, it gives you an advantage over those who don't understand it, because this goes right through human nature to the core. A lot of people don't understand that when God gives something that comes from Him, the truth breathes all the way through all of human nature, and when the truth comes, it's so powerful. It sweeps like air into the entire human nature, and that's the same with evil too. Evil can sweep through a nation, and affect the whole nation if evil's pure enough. And right now we got a lot of evil going on. People's doing a lot of evil. Yeah, but anyway, that's all I got. I have to tell you about all the other stuff later if you want to hear it. So that's it.